Hello everyone, I'm Rishika Gupta and in this video we are going to implement singleton pattern. So last video में हमने देखा था why we use singleton pattern and in this video we are going to implement it in Java. Now I'm going to create a class, let's say print spooler. So we have already taken the example of print spooler, why we need it as a singleton object, and now we are going to implement it. Now first of all you are going to define a private static class member here of type print spooler. So ये जो क्लास मेंबर है दिस इज स्टैटिक, दैट मीन्स ये क्लास मेंबर कहीं से भी एक्सेसिबल हो सकता है यूजिंग द क्लास इटसेल्फ, बिकॉज वी आर इम्प्लीमेंटिंग सिंगलटन पैटर्न, जिसका मतलब है वी वांट अ शेयर्ड ऑब्जेक्ट, राइट। तो स्टैटिक फील्ड्स जो हमारी होती हैं, स्टैटिक क्लास मेंबर जो होते हैं वो हमारे शेयर्ड होते हैं. Static means that the variable belong to the class, not to the specific object. Since we are implementing singleton pattern, which ensures that we only have one instance of the class, this instance class member is made static. Now, it's a general practice to call this class member as instance. तो हम सबसे पहले इसको instance बोलेंगे. If you see this is private, that means हमें इसका एक getter भी बनाना पड़ेगा. So, this is going to be public, again static, and it is going to return print spooler object and we are calling it as get instance. Now in this we are going to say if the instance object is null, that means अभी तक हमारा इस क्लास का कोई भी ऑब्जेक्ट अगर क्रिएट नहीं हुआ है, then create a new object using new. Otherwise you can return the existing object. So इससे हमने क्या इंश्योर किया, if we already have an object of this class, we will use the same object without initializing another. And if we do not have the instance of this class, that means हम अगर first time पे इस class का object बनाने का try कर रहे हैं, then we can create this. तो ये हो गया हमारा very simple form of singleton pattern. And जहां पे भी आप इस function को call करोगे, it will return the instance of print spooler class, which is either already created or it will create a new instance and ensure next time हम जब भी call करें we get the same instance. Now let's try to call this function from our main class. So I'll remove all the things that we added for the builder pattern, and here I'm going to just call print spooler get instance. So if you see I'm able to access this function because it is also static and आप directly इसको इसके class के through access कर पा रहे हो. Let's try to print this. If you see we have something printed here. This is the hash code of your print spooler object. Let's try to create another object, call it as a spooler2, let's say, and I'm going to call the same method and let's print it spooler2. This shows that the hash code of both these objects are same. Let's also print if the two objects are equal or not. Let's run this and it is returning true. That means both objects are same. So this is a very simple implementation of singleton pattern, but इसमें एक problem है. If you have multiple threads working on this class, then this specific block of code is not thread safe. इसका मतलब क्या हुआ, लेट से आपका एक थ्रेड है वो गेट इंस्टेंस कॉल कर रहा है एंड एट द सेम टाइम एक और थ्रेड गेट इंस्टेंस कॉल कर देता है एंड वो दोनों एग्जैक्ट सेम टाइम पे आपका ये इंस्टेंस इक्वल नल स्टेटमेंट भी रन करते हैं. सो इससे क्या होगा, इफ बोथ द threads are trying to create an object of this class for the first time, they will go into this block, right? वो इस if condition के अंदर चले जाएंगे and both will create new instance of this class, जिससे क्या होगा आपके दो instance create हो सकते हैं. So we have to make this block thread safe. Now there are multiple ways to solve this. First is eager initialization. So हमारा ये issue आ क्यों रहा है? Because multiple threads are trying to create the object of this class for the first time. But let's say if you create object of this class at the time of class loading, तो कभी भी ऐसा situation arise नहीं होगा because at that time कोई भी thread हमारी इस class को access करने की कोशिश नहीं कर रहा. So what you can do is you can initialize the object here itself. You can simply call new print spooler here, and instead of this if block, because we know that we already have instance object here, we are always going to return it. And also one more very important thing, you have to create a private constructor for this class, private default constructor, because you want to prevent the initialization of this object from outside, right? So by default जो हमारा constructor होता है वो हमेशा public बनता है. So if you want to prevent anyone outside this class to create object of this class, you have to create a private default constructor. Now let's try to run this. The response is same. So this way of initialization is called eager initialization. This is simple and thread safe, but we are creating object even if it might not use, which can be inefficient in terms of resource usage. The second option is lazy initialization, which we can do simply with a keyword called synchronized. So synchronized keyword ensures that only one thread can create the instance at a time. Basically, it control that only one thread can access that particular block at one time. So how you can do that? I'll just revert all the changes. So this was your initial singleton pattern. Now in this block, which was not thread safe, I'm going to add a keyword called synchronized. So only one thread can access this block at one time. This will definitely affect the performance of your code, but at the same time, it will make your code thread safe. And here also you should have a private constructor to avoid initialization of objects. And then we have a very unique way we can define this class as enum, because in Java, enum guarantees thread safety. So it will handle the synchronization automatically. So this was about singleton pattern and how you can ensure thread safety in it. I hope you liked the video, and if yes, don't forget to subscribe to the channel. See you in the next video.